This is an AI avatar of Lesix founder Rob Lee, script produced using a custom-trained AI employee in Claude, video produced using HeyGen. Now, let's begin. Here's a question that keeps many successful brokers up at night. How do you modernize your technology systems without killing the golden goose? You know what I'm talking about. Your current systems are working. Your agents are producing. Revenue is flowing. But you also know that technology is moving fast. And standing still in this industry is actually moving backward. The challenge isn't whether to modernize, it's how to do it without disrupting the success you've already built. Today, I'm going to walk you through a strategic approach to system evolution, not revolution, evolution. We'll cover 5 key principles that the most successful brokerages use to stay ahead of the curve while protecting their bottom line. The biggest mistake I see brokers make is thinking modernization means throwing everything out and starting fresh. That's not modernization, that's destruction. Smart brokers think differently. They think integration first. Here's what I mean. Instead of replacing your existing CRM that agents know and love, you integrate new capabilities on top of it. Instead of switching transaction management systems in the middle of a busy season, you layer in automation tools that enhance what's already working. Think of it like renovating a house while you're living in it. You don't tear down the foundation. You upgrade room by room, system by system. The key is identifying which systems are mission critical to your current success and which ones are holding you back. Mission critical systems get enhanced. Problem systems get replaced, but never both at the same time. This approach reduces risk dramatically. Your agents keep working in familiar environments while gaining new capabilities. Your data stays intact, your processes remain stable, and most importantly, your revenue keeps flowing. When you integrate first, you create a bridge between where you are and where you want to be. That bridge is what separates successful modernization from costly disruption. The second principle is about being smart with implementation. Never roll out new technology company-wide on day one. Never. Here's the approach that works. Pick a small test group, maybe your newest agents or your most tech-savvy team, maybe one specific department or geographic market. Start there. This gives you several advantages. First, you learn what works and what doesn't before it affects your entire operation. Second, you identify training needs early. Third, you create internal champions who can help with broader adoption later. But here's the key. You set specific success metrics up front. What does success look like? Is it faster transaction processing, better lead conversion, improved agent satisfaction? Define it before you start, not after. The test phase should last long enough to see real results, but not so long that you lose momentum. Usually 60 to 90 days is the sweet spot. During this phase, you're not just testing the technology, you're testing the implementation process itself. How long does training take? What questions come up? What workflows need adjustment? What unexpected challenges emerge? Once you've refined the process and you're confident in the results, then you scale. But you scale methodically, department by department, office by office, never everything at once. This approach takes longer than a big bang rollout, but it's infinitely safer. And in our business, safe usually means profitable. Let's talk about the 2 things that make or break every modernization effort: data migration and training. Data is the lifeblood of your brokerage. Client histories, transaction records, financial information, marketing lists. If you lose data or corrupt it during migration, You're not just disrupting operations, you're potentially destroying relationships. Here's the approach that works. Always, and I mean always, maintain parallel systems during transition. Your old system stays live and functional, while your new system gets populated and tested, only when you're absolutely certain that all data has transferred correctly and all processes are working smoothly. Do you make the switch? This usually means running dual systems for several weeks. Yes, it's more expensive in the short term, but it's insurance against catastrophic data loss. And in our industry, relationships are everything. Losing a client database isn't just a technical problem, it's a business-ending disaster. Training is equally critical. But here's what most brokers get wrong. They try to train everyone on everything at once. That's overwhelming and ineffective. Instead, focus on role-specific training. New agents need different skills than veteran producers. Administrative staff have different needs than sales teams. Tailor your training to match actual job responsibilities. And don't make training optional. Make it a requirement for continued system access. That sounds harsh, but it works. When people know they need the training to do their jobs, they pay attention. Finally, plan for ongoing support, not just during the first week after launch, but for months afterward. As agents get comfortable with basics, they'll want to learn advanced features. Be ready to support that journey. Timing isn't everything in modernization, but it's pretty close. The worst time to implement new systems? During your busiest season, when deals are closing left and right, and agents are stressed, and everyone's focused on revenue production. That's when you should be maintaining stability, not introducing change. Smart brokers look for natural transition points. End of quarter when things slow down slightly. Between busy seasons, during traditional vacation periods, times when the pressure is lower, and people have mental bandwidth for learning. But here's an even better approach. Align system updates with natural business cycles. New agent onboarding periods are perfect for introducing new technology because new agents don't have established habits to break. They can learn the new system as their default rather than as a change from something familiar. Year-end planning sessions are another great opportunity. When you're setting goals for the next year, that's when you introduce tools that will help achieve those goals. The technology becomes part of the solution, not an additional burden. Market shifts also create opportunities. When market conditions change, agents are already adapting their approaches. That's when they're most open to new tools that help them navigate the new environment. The key is reading your organization's rhythm. Every brokerage has natural ebbs and flows, busy periods and slower periods, high stress times and planning times. Map your modernization efforts to match those cycles. When you time things right, change feels natural rather than disruptive. And that makes all the difference in adoption rates. Here's the truth about change management in real estate. If your top producers aren't on board, your modernization effort will fail. It's that simple. Top producers have influence. Other agents watch what they do. If your star performers embrace new technology, others will follow. If they resist, everyone resists. So how do you get top producers on board? You don't start with features. You start with problems. What's frustrating your best agents right now? What's slowing them down? What's causing them to lose deals or waste time? Start there. Then show them how new technology solves those specific problems. But here's the key. Involve them in the selection process. Don't choose technology and then try to sell them on it. Invite them to evaluate options with you. Let them test different solutions. Get their input on what works and what doesn't. When top producers help choose the technology, they become invested in its success. They're not just users, they're stakeholders. You also want to identify early adopters among your top producers. Not every star performer is tech savvy, but some are. Find those people. Give them early access to new systems. Let them become internal experts and advocates. These internal champions become your secret weapon during broader rollouts. When a reluctant agent asks, "Does this really work?" you don't answer. Your top producer answers. And their word carries more weight than any vendor demonstration ever could. Finally, recognize and reward adoption. When top producers embrace new technology, make sure everyone knows it. Celebrate their success with the new tools. Share their results. Make adoption feel like winning, not like compliance. Let me show you how these principles work in practice by looking at 3 real-world examples. First, Keller Williams. Back in 2015, they decided to transform from a traditional real estate franchise into a technology company. But they didn't blow everything up and start over. Instead, they took the integration approach. They built their new command platform and AI assistant Kelly while keeping existing systems running. They started with a modest feature in 2017 and gradually scaled to a 50-person development team by 2019. The result? Over 100,000 active users on their new platform, without disrupting ongoing operations. They succeeded because they treated modernization as evolution, not revolution. Second example, a premier UK real estate agency with 67 offices. They were running on a legacy system that had reached end of life. Sound familiar? But instead of rushing into replacement, they spent 3 months in discovery, understanding how the old system connected to finance, compliance, property management, every department. Only then did they build their new platform. They maintained business continuity throughout the entire transition and achieved what they called operational excellence through end-to-end process remediation. That's a fancy way of saying they got better results with less effort. Third example, CBRE, the global commercial real estate giant. They didn't implement AI and cloud computing as wholesale replacement. They used technology to solve specific business problems. Their smart facilities management system automates maintenance and optimizes energy usage, but it enhances existing property management rather than replacing it. They addressed data fragmentation through standardization while maintaining security protocols. The common thread in all 3 cases? They focused on enhancing what worked rather than replacing everything. They involved stakeholders in the process, they maintained business continuity, and they achieved better results, not just different results. So let's wrap this up. How do you modernize systems without disrupting success? 5 key principles. Start with integration, not replacement. Use a test and scale approach. Never company-wide rollouts. Plan data migration and training strategically. Time updates during natural transition points. And get your top producers bought in from the beginning. The goal isn't to have the newest technology. The goal is to have the most effective technology for your specific situation. Technology that enhances your agent's capabilities, protects your data, and grows your business. Modernization done right feels like natural evolution. Your systems get better, your processes get smoother, your results improve, but the disruption is minimal and the risk is managed. If you're ready to start your own modernization journey, but you want to do it strategically, here's what I recommend. Start with a systems audit. Identify what's working well, what's causing problems, and what's missing entirely. Then prioritize based on impact and risk. For resources to help you through this process, including a systems assessment worksheet, check the links in the description below. And remember, in real estate, the best technology is the technology that helps you serve clients better and close more deals. Everything else is just noise. That's how you modernize without disruption. Evolution, not revolution.